But welcome. It's time for round 2 on the treating of the Andamooka matrix. We're going to be working on this one today, but we're going to get these ones started here with another round of treating and fill the Opal Mills. Good day, everyone. Welcome to the Opal Mills. My favorite. He suggested that I go a little bit higher heat, a little bit longer on the soak to get a little bit better results. So that's what we're going to do. As long as I'm here to babysit this, I'm probably going to have it on high, even if it's simmering a little bit. That'll be okay as long as I can keep water added to it so it doesn't, simmer down and burn. And then I'll probably leave it in maybe even overnight at a lower temperature just to let it get as much sugar as possible in and see if a longer heat, I keep calling it heat treat because I'm used to doing knives, but a longer treat. And while we're starting that, we're going to be doing the viewer comments with what we're going to do with this one. So we've got the same sugar water we had last time. There's no point in getting rid of it. I added probably a couple cups of water, water to it because it had cooked down a little bit and was thick. Again, we want as much sugar as we can to get into the stone, but we want this solution to be thin enough that it can go into the stone. We want it to permeate the stone, so that's part of the reason why the high heat helps, is the hotter this liquid gets, the runnier it is. Right now it's cold, so that sugar is going to take a minute to dissolve till this starting to heat up now, but that's all we'll do for now. As soon as that gets dissolved, we're going to put this one. I'm really tempted into trying to cut that one. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe we'll hold this one out for now, and because this ring right here, I have another one, and this would be a perfect stone. The only problem, its difficulty, is that narrow edge, but this actually needs a narrow stone. This stone is actually a little bit too thick for it. And there might be enough color bar here in width that we can set this stone in this, because this one in the light with some water on it is actually amazing. So we'll hold this one out and this one out. We'll work those while we're waiting for this stuff. But this one that didn't take hardly any treat, and this one that didn't take much better, this one that took some pretty dark in some areas and some not, and this one that took a decent treat, but it wouldn't hurt to get a little bit darker. Actually, I really like how this one didn't treat. That it's got the white tiger. It did it in such a pleasing pattern and there's enough dark in it to bring all the colors out. But we'll go ahead and see if we can't get the whole thing black. It might be even better if it goes black. If not, if it stays that way but just gets slightly darker in the dark areas, I'm fine with that because it's pretty cool. So let's just go ahead and get these soaking. These have been sitting out dry now for over 24 hours. So, all right, we've started that. All right, this is what I'm thinking. Pretty much the consensus was 2 different stones. We have this issue right here that if it actually is clean stones we're going after, has to be left out of the equation, so we lose quite a bit of real estate. It kind of goes up all this area right here. I think we barely miss it. The very best color is right here in the stone. So we're going to try and capture that. The next best color is here. And here we've got blues and very little green. So we might be able to get a little something out of that area there. But this will be our 2 primary stones. This one, where's the other one? Oh, it's right here. This one right here, put a little bit of water on it. You can see this one is an amazing, oh goodness sakes. See that one pops? If I can get that one into this setting right here, we just have to, so see how thin that is. I don't need a thick stone to set in this type of ring. It's going to be fully backed by, it's a solid bottom and it'll be epoxied in, so I don't need a lot of thickness. So if I've got enough width in this color bar, I obviously have enough length to cover it. It's going to be close. Actually, no. Am I not wide enough? I'm not sure it's going to be wide enough. It'll be so close. But that's what we're going to try and do out of that one. Otherwise, what would we do with that little wedge-shaped piece? So we're going to take just enough off to square up this edge and give us just enough thickness for what we need, and then maximize the rest of it. Maybe this green color keeps going back this way if we're lucky. If not, we'll at least have a stone right there that we could do something with. So that's our plan. Let me go ahead and split this one. So we got that little piece, little blue. We got that piece. Look at that, crazy blue and green. And we got this piece. Should we start with this one? We probably shouldn't start on this medium grit wheel, but we're going to. That's all we needed to do is just kiss that edge to square. Get enough thickness to be able to back it. We're close. Curious if there's any color on this face right here that's hiding. It's going to be blues, it looks like. So it won't be the same pattern. The green kind of ends there, but we certainly have some pretty color there. We could probably go in a little bit more to get what we need. See how thin we are still right there? Look at the color in it though. Good night. Now it's a matter of taking that face back. More water there. Turn it off on one wheel to get a little bit more at this one. Alright, that's about as thin as I want to go for now, because that way it still gives us options to do something else. Let's take in that side till we get to clean color. Not quite. It's probably close enough right there. We could probably roll it now into color. I don't want to take anything off of both sides because we're barely have enough. Need to bring those faces parallel. Okay, that's all we're going to go on the medium grit wheel. Look at that color we're trying to bring into it. That's our problem corner right there. So it might not work out in this setting right here, but it's going to be close, very close. So we'll work on one of these here. Trying to decide if that's worth cutting off and trying to save or just grinding away. If there was color in that clear potch, I would, but it's pretty much just clear. This is hard. This one is hard stuff. I'm putting a pretty good amount of pressure on there to get it to cut. Alright, we'll probably dop that up, remark it, and then dop it up. That'll be a two-sided stone. Work on this one. Alright, now we're to the point where we can dop it up. Again, we'll have another two-sided, beautiful, amazing green and blue on black stone right there. Probably won't do anything with that at this point. Here's the ring we're going to try and fit, and there's the stone. It appears that we have just enough to do it if we are careful. Actually, let's put a pin in that one because I think we want to do all the rest of that one on the fine stone. We've got some more work to do on these bigger ones. Almost seems like we could get a bigger stone out of that one. Hold on. Yeah, we were about to mark those as a 12 when I remarked them. So we'll take them back out to a 13. Get them as big as we can. It's close enough for now. We can refine the shape a little bit more. Okay, let's move to the other wheel. It will affect how it will polish because I can't feel anything there with my finger. This is the point where we can start refining the shape as well at the same time. Amarillo by morning, up from San Antonio. Everything that I got is just what I got on. I ain't got a dime, but what I got is mine. I ain't rich, but Lord, I'm free. Amarillo by morning, Amarillo's where I'll be. Lost my saddle in Houston, broke my leg in Santa Fe. Lost a wife and a girlfriend somewhere along the way. But I'll be looking for 8 when they pull that gate, and I hope that judge ain't blind. Amarillo by morning, Amarillo is on my mind. That's gonna be a beauty of a stone. Got that something going through that way too. We're gonna ignore it till we can't. I don't think it'll be a problem once the whole stone is black. You couldn't see it before. All right, we're ready to take that one to the finishing wheel. Next, just a little bit of refining. This oval's a little bit wider than the other. This one's currently closer to a 14 than a 13. All right, I like that. Okay. Trying not to change the shape of the stone anymore. I'm just trying to roll the edges. Okay, ready for the finishing wheel. That one's ready for the sugar. Desperado, why don't you come to your senses? You've been out riding fences for so long now. See, this wheel is actually soft and it's an expandable wheel. That's why this helps get the facets that are left by the hard one and allows it to have a rounded edge. When you basically have 2 perpendicular surfaces meeting, and it leaves facets even on a microscopic level if you're careful, but when there's some give in the wheel, you can round those facets and it just makes the whole thing more pleasing. Make sure we got all the scratches out of the surface. I'm going to dry it off and look at it close. The camera is actually good for this because I can actually magnify it and see some stuff that my eye might not. Because I remember there was some grinding marks in the face of this that I needed. I set myself a reminder. Everything is now in the sugar water. Hopefully that's the last time you ever see them that light colored. I'll leave them on high and check them every once in a while to make sure they're not boiling away my liquid too quickly. But as hot as I can get them, the better it should be. Well, I'm out here working on this little blue gem. About got it done, so we thought we'd check on this. It's probably been about, it's probably been about 4 hours now. I think you can see that the stones are getting darker just sitting in the, that one is considerably darker just from being in the sugar. I've left it on high because obviously high is still not a boiling point, and so it's going to be considerably hotter than we did it last time. But that seems to be about the perfect temperature because we're good and hot. I'm having to add water occasionally to it, but that seems to be about the right temperature where it's hot enough that we're not boiling away the water too quick, but that ought to get the sugar in it way quicker. We're probably an hour longer than we did last time. So maybe tonight we'll pull it out in time to be able to etch it for an hour before it's time to call it quits for the day, so we can see where we're at. But I can tell that we're already getting darker just from the soak, so interesting. I've been shaking it about every 30 minutes or to an hour or so, just to make sure that we have good contact, or we don't have the same points always touching, so that they can make sure the whole thing gets sugar. I just cut a really nice set of an earring pair. I should have videoed it, but anyway, this is more about the Andamooka. Well, it's actually at a simmer this time for the first time. Listen. Can you hear that? It's been about 7 hours. So I think we are going to put it in the acid. That one right there just doesn't seem to be taking any color. The ring stone. Let's hope it does. Alright, so let me swap out. I'm going to dump the sugar water just into this bucket so I can reuse it if I want. And then we'll clean this out and put acid in it. Alright, so here's a look at them just straight out of the sugar water. 7 hours soaking. The color's already amazing on those, but if we can get them to black, we're going to be amazing. Okay, we got the acid in, warming up. We got our stones lightly rinsed. I didn't want to take any more sugar off of them than I had to. I think if you over rinse them, you can pull some of the sugar out. There we go. We'll let that acid get up to temperature and check it again. Okay, it's been about an hour. First check. Fumes are pretty noxious. Ooh, look at that. That's a significant improvement. Our white piece is no longer white. That's rectangle ring piece. I'm seeing some color. Come back in another hour. All right, I think we're about ready to pull it out. Turn the crock pot off. Here's our stones. This is the baking soda water right here. Here is our stones, heat treated, or not heat treated, but acid treated, sugar treated, treated. Here they are straight out of the, so that one was white, and it took treatment extreme. Oh my goodness sakes. That one was white, and it went to a very nice black. This one was the one that was resisting acid. And I mean, good. If you look at the difference, it didn't go black like the other ones, but the color is 100 times more visible and bright than it was. I'm not sure. Maybe that one would be worth. I don't know if it will get any darker. It's darker than it was, and the color really is really amazing. I mean, obviously you can see that. That was successful, even though that one's not black. That stone is very nice. We're just going to go through them here one at a time. They still kind of have the crust. Oh my goodness sakes. So let me just kind of summarize what I did here. I did the first video with a little bit more detail than this one. What we basically did is we increased the temperature to just below boiling. I kept it just below boiling for about 7 hours in the sugar water. And then we did the acid at also just below boiling temperature for probably about an hour and a half to 2 hours, I think it was. I think I'm impatient, and I noticed that a lot of people were interested in this because of its brevity and not wanting to have to take. Good night. People, tell me that that isn't amazing. That's just stunning. Anyway, what people seem to be most interested in is the fact that it was a heat treat that didn't take days. This is something that you could start in the morning. I would say probably it wouldn't hurt to go longer with both, but the temperature seems to definitely be better at the just below boiling temperature. There's the pendant. What color isn't in that? It's like a neon sign. Yeah. So I keep getting distracted. We did just below boiling for the sugar water and the acid. Sugar water at about 6.5 hours. Acid at an hour and a half to 2 hours. I would say if you want to stretch out for the day, I would say do 8 hours in the sugar, 2 hours in the acid. You see the effects we got here. Some of it treated better than others, but all of it got darker. Even the one that didn't hardly take any color the first time clearly took enough darkness to make the colors come out in it. And now we just need to, we'll polish these real quick. Polish them here on the finishing wheel and then polish them, and we'll show you them till you finished. It's possible we could put some of these back in if I do another treatment. Just keep throwing some of these in till they get where we like. But you know, if that polishes up like that, then man, what's not to like? So I think we got the process down. Let me know if you have any questions or if you got any input, anybody. But I think that was highly successful. Brought these pretty much all the way to this point already before we treated them. So all I'm doing is just kind of cleaning some of the crud off of them from the treating process. I would say this one probably of all of them this one and the next one would benefit the most from another treat. That one. Where's our little ring stone? I'm excited about this one. So this is the one that we're going to set. We're going to set this one in that ring right there. It's going to be perfect. Got interesting blue on that edge there. This one with the high dome will be the hardest one to, I might want to need to dot this one up to. Well, here we are. You want the bad news first? So I went out and you can see what happened. I went out and thinned that down to where I was going to be happy with the way it sat in the stone. Brought it in and washed it off and promptly dropped it and cracked it right there down the middle. So it would have been fine once it was set, but it didn't make it that far, unfortunately. That happens. I was hoping to hurry up and set that and have that be the finale of the video, but we'll have to let these speak for themselves. This one is not taking the treatment. The little bit it did take rubbed off with just a little bit of polish. So either longer, we'll just keep throwing that one in until it either takes or doesn't. I mean, this shows that it will go in a little ways. Maybe we just need to, I don't know. But that one wasn't that successful. However, this is probably, we'll do these in order of the ones that were least successful. That one kind of took a splotchy treat. Nice color on it, but not real pleasant on the finish of it. That one seems like that one needs a little bit more polish. I just kind of hit these real quick, but that one came out nice. The pendant came out nice. It's not 100% uniform darkening across them. There's some different areas that darken better than others, but enough to bring out the color. And then I think the two best pieces are that one and the one that I had to cut back a little bit because it chipped when I took it off the dopping stick. That one. So I think that is a successful treatment. And I think that ended in some really nice stones. I'm a little bit sad about that one, of course. I was going to have a different ring to wear tomorrow. But now we'll just have to find another stone to fit that. Tell me what you think. There's your Andamooka matrix treated.